10 years ago, most things were one-time purchases. You bought a movie, a book, a piece of software, and that was it. Done. Today, almost everything has become a subscription. Netflix, Spotify, Adobe, meal kits, meditation apps, grocery delivery, even razors, vitamins, and dog food are now part of what's called the subscription economy, and it's worth hundreds of billions of dollars. And on the surface, it makes sense. Subscriptions are convenient. They remove the need to make the same decision over and over. Set it once, forget about it, and it just works. But that convenience comes at a hidden cost, not just in dollars, but in attention. Because when something is automatic, it becomes invisible. You stop thinking about it. You stop questioning whether it's still useful. You just keep paying. And companies know this. In fact, the modern subscription model is designed not just to serve you, but to make you forget. Forget what you signed up for. Forget what you don't use anymore. Forget to cancel. They rely on that forgetfulness. It's part of the business strategy. The result? You end up paying for things you no longer use or barely touch. And over time, those harmless little charges start draining your monthly budget more than you realize. This video is about seeing it clearly, not canceling everything. It's about understanding how you got here and how to take back control. Because the truth is, subscriptions aren't bad. They're just too easy to ignore. Let's talk about why those payments feel so invisible and why that matters more than you think. Here's the strange thing about subscriptions. They keep charging your card every month, but you rarely feel the spending. Why? Because it's automatic. You're not swiping a card, you're not handing over cash, you're not even clicking buy. The payment happens in the background, quietly, without your involvement. This is what makes subscription spending so dangerous. It bypasses your awareness. When you go to a store and buy something for $40, you feel it. You experience the decision, you weigh the value, you make a choice, and that choice sticks with you because it was active. But when Spotify takes $9.99 from your account on the first of the month, you don't think about it. It's a passive transaction. You're not emotionally involved, and that's the point. Small charges, $3, $7, $12, are designed to feel harmless. You don't cancel because it's not a big deal. It's just a coffee. It's just lunch money. It's just $5. But multiply that by 6, 10, 12 services, and suddenly, it's not just anything. It's $80, $120, $200. And because those payments are spread out across the month, different dates, different amounts, you never see the full picture all at once. It slips past your mental radar. This is exactly what companies count on. They don't need you to love the product. They just need you to not care enough to cancel. Subscription spending feels invisible because it's designed that way, but invisible doesn't mean harmless. In the next chapter, we'll crunch the numbers and show how these small costs quietly drain hundreds, even thousands, over time. Let's put some real numbers on this. You might think, it's just $9 here, $12 there. How bad can it be? Let's find out. Here's a basic list of common subscriptions. Music streaming, $10. Video streaming, $15. Cloud storage, $3. Fitness app, $12. Meditation app, $8. Food delivery premium, $10. News or magazine, $7. Language learning, $12. Extra email storage, $2. Gaming pass, $15. That's 10 subscriptions, totaling $94 a month. Sounds manageable, right? Now multiply that by 12 months. 94 x 12 $, $1,128 per year. That's over $1,000, and that's just with 10 small services. Many people have more. Some don't even remember what half of them are. And here's the kicker. Most users actively use only 2-3 of those subscriptions regularly. The rest? Either forgotten, just in case, or held onto out of guilt or hope. It's not the amount per subscription that hurts you. It's the accumulation. The fact that they fly under the radar and blend into your financial background. And because they renew monthly, they keep costing you even when your usage drops to zero. Let's say you cancel just 4 of those unused subscriptions. That's 40 months back in your budget. That's $480 a year you didn't know you were losing. That's groceries. That's a trip. That's a small emergency fund. Subscriptions don't feel like spending, but over time, they take real money out of your life. Next, we'll talk about how these services are designed to be hard to quit and why that's not an accident. Let's be honest, you didn't plan to keep all those subscriptions. Some of them started as free trials, just 7 days, just 1 month. Cancel anytime. And then you forgot. That's not your fault. It's by design. Free trials are built to convert forgetfulness into profit. You sign up for a meditation app at midnight thinking you'll cancel later. You never do. Here's why. Subscription-based services use a tactic called friction delay. It means making cancellation just difficult enough that you'll postpone it, again and again. They hide the cancel button. They ask you to email support instead of clicking. They guilt-trip you with, "Are you sure you want to lose your progress?" They auto-renew without a reminder. They split billing cycles across platforms, Apple, Google, PayPal, so you don't even know where to go. It's not a glitch, it's a strategy. They know most people won't fight through the friction, especially for $7 or $12, so they profit off your inaction. And then there's forgetfulness, the subscription killer. Out of sight, out of mind. You signed up during a promo, you used it twice, it's still charging you every month. In fact, studies show that people underestimate how many subscriptions they have by 30 to 50%. That's not laziness, it's information overload. You're busy, they know that. So what can you do? You don't need to track everything in your head. You need a simple system to check in regularly and break the forget, cancel, repeat cycle. In the next part, we'll talk about why it's emotionally hard to cancel, even when you know you're not using it. Sometimes the hardest subscriptions to cancel aren't the ones we use. They're the ones we wish we used, or feel guilty for not using. And that's where the emotional trap begins. You keep the online course subscription because you really should be learning. You hold on to the fitness app because someday you'll get back into it. You stay subscribed to a platform you barely open because it's only $9 and it makes you feel productive. This is what's called perceived value. The idea that a service is valuable not because of how you use it, but because of what it represents. And that idea is sticky. Canceling the subscription doesn't just feel like saving money, it can feel like admitting failure. If I cancel this language app, am I giving up on learning? If I quit this productivity tool, does that mean I'm lazy? If I stop paying for this coaching group, am I falling behind? That's not logic, that's emotion. We attach identity to our subscriptions, especially ones related to self-improvement. And companies know this. They market directly to your aspirations, not your actual habits. You don't want to lose access. You don't want to throw away progress. You don't want to feel like you're giving up on your better self. But here's the truth. Keeping a subscription doesn't make you disciplined. Using it does. And if you're not using it, you're just paying for the idea of who you think you should be. That's expensive. Next, let's talk about how to actually take back control, not by cutting everything, but by doing a calm, smart subscription audit. So, you're ready to clean up your subscriptions. Not to cancel everything, but to take back control. Here's how to do it without stress or overwhelm. Step 1. List them all. Don't rely on memory. Go through your bank and credit card statements. Look for anything that's recurring, monthly, quarterly, or annually. Don't skip the small ones, they add up. You can also use tools like Truebill, Rocket Money, or your bank's subscription tracker if available. Or do it manually, whatever gives you full visibility. Step 2. Mark actual usage. For each subscription, ask, did I use this in the last 30 days? Will I realistically use it in the next 30? If it disappeared today, would I even notice? Be honest, not idealistic. Step 3. Keep only what earns its place. If you use it regularly, benefit from it, and it aligns with your goals, keep it. If not, cancel it. You're not wasting the subscription. You're reclaiming your budget. Step 4. Set reminders for annual renewals. Annual charges are sneaky. You forget they exist until they hit. Create calendar alerts a week before each one. Step 5. Use a dedicated card or account. Having all subscriptions on one card makes them easier to track and easier to pause if needed. Step 6. Recheck every 3 months subscriptions creep back in. Build a simple ritual. Once a quarter, review and clean up. This isn't about deprivation, it's about clarity, knowing exactly what you're paying for and why. In the final chapter, we'll zoom out and look at the bigger point. It's not about cutting, it's about choosing consciously. Let's be clear. This isn't a campaign against subscriptions. Some of them genuinely improve your life. A music app you use daily, a course that helps you grow, a service that saves you time or reduces stress. That's not wasted money. That's intentional spending. The problem isn't the model, it's the autopilot. It's the quiet way small charges build up, unnoticed. It's the mental fog that says, it's only a few bucks, not worth thinking about. And it's the emotional weight of keeping things out of guilt or habit. Taking back control doesn't mean cutting to the bone. It means waking up. Waking up to what you actually use, to what brings value, to what you signed up for 2 years ago and forgot. It's about building a system where you're the one deciding, not the app, not the default setting, not the renewal date. Every dollar you don't waste becomes a dollar you can use elsewhere, towards savings, debt, freedom, or just peace of mind. And when you treat your subscriptions like any other expense with intention, they stop being a trap and start becoming a tool. This whole video wasn't about canceling, it was about noticing. Because once you notice, you can choose. And once you start choosing, you're not stuck anymore. Thanks for watching and for doing the work of paying attention. That's where all real change begins. If this video made something click for you, consider subscribing. Hit the bell so you don't miss the next one and leave a comment, even just a thanks or your own story. I read everything.